And I showed you this, I've shown you it a lot, but partly it's how do you walk and meditate and breathe? And so it's, for me, because my shoulders don't go back naturally, and I told you I have a little scoliosis, which causes that. Some people can have good posture their whole life, but mine, my spine is a little curved in one spot, and that causes that. And we were working on Monday with also pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor is really important in our walking, and it's really hard. It's really important in standing. It's not easy. So I put my arms behind my back and raise up out of the crown of my head, and then don't get distracted with the chat, which just, I sometimes get distracted just with the computer. So raise up out of my head and just stand. Now, finding your feet, just standing. How do you stand and feel like you're standing up as straight as you can? You can bring the shoulders up, back, and down, and bring your arms behind you, and that kind of keeps you there. Now, you can also have your hands flat on your lower back. And here, what you can do here is you can play with, doing a little back bend. Feel the feet, feel the legs, squeeze at the pelvic floor, and feel what happens at the abdominals. So when you do that, you squeeze at the it's a diaphragm. You got to think of 4. I think there's 4. There might be 5 diaphragms throughout the torso that hold different different kinds of organs up. And mostly we're familiar with the one below our lungs, that as we inhale and exhale, we work that diaphragm. But we don't think about the different ones as we go down through the torso. So think about the one at the very bottom, and think of it as just like the lungs. It holds a whole body of organs in the torso. So pull in, and you'll feel the pulling in at the belly button and maybe a little further down. And you can really work this standing. So that arms behind, or arms, forearms held, and you're just experiencing yourself standing tall. Now, mountain is this. This is called Tadasana, the mountain. Not much to it. Now, you do look at your feet and you go, okay, do you want my feet together? And in some practices, your feet are together and your legs are supporting each other. And then see if that helps how tall you stand. Then feet apart maybe is better for you. So feet apart, what you want to do is be able to bend the knees, and the hip, the knee, and the ankle go over each other. So you're in alignment of hip, knee, and ankle. And some of our knees turn in and turn out. And that puts a lot of pressure on the knee if the natural way that our hips take our, however our femur is in there, or muscles that are pulling one way or the other. So then we can ride the wave here. So you get that understanding of hip, knee, and ankle. And then stand, and you're in Tadasana, the mountain, or hands at the heart. This is also mountain. If you need support here, or hands down, where do you need support? Do you need it on your back? Do you need to hold onto a wall or a table or a chair? And if you're in a chair, you can do this in a chair, and you can play with the arms. They're just expressive. And also, wherever that is. Now, if you're holding your arms up, feel how much through the body you can sense that connection all the way from the base of the spine, all the way from the sling of muscles at the base of the pelvis. And then see that it will hold you up there longer, but don't lose your breath, because sometimes you hold in so much that then you go, oh, I forgot to breathe. So find the breath. Any posture, any one posture can be what I call yoga moments. You can also have your hands together and thumbs up. Thumbs crossed, fingers crossed, pointer fingers above. This is the mudra for the body is the temple for my spirit. I just realized my microphone was down. This should be a little bit better. And this is a meditation, just standing here. And then bring yourself into arms come down, hands to the heart, inhale up. This is a meditation too. It's just a simple breath meditation. Everything we're doing, inhale, exhale as you come down. This is a great one to take pauses during the day. And the arms just give you a rhythm for the breath. One more time. And then close your eyes and feel the feet. Go heel to toe on the feet. Hands are at the heart. Thumbs come to the heart. And breathe gratitude. Pull in at that belly button and breathe gratitude from your soles of your feet to the top of your head. So imagine breathing gratitude from the earth. Now we've been working with, over time, we've worked with the color that is the most expansive color that comes from the earth, and it's a peach color. So imagine the different colors that peaches are. They're almost like autumn, because I've seen peaches everything from purple to red to orange to a combination of that to yellows. All of that together is what I've seen some peaches. You cut them open, you go, wow. So as you go out and you collect the colors of the trees are the colors of the center of the earth coming up through us and blending together. And the yellows that we have here in the West, they really make it a brighter kind of mixture of colors. Then bring the thumbs to your third eye. And you're still just balancing on your feet and feeling your toes, heel to toe, finding the breath, breathing gratitude through the heart. So we go into heart-brain coherence. We have the power of 8+, so we know that we're powerful. What we do here, and don't underestimate this, we are changing the world. We're changing the vibration that goes out there onto this planet. And we're connected. We're not disconnected. There's no boundaries. It's all an illusion. It's that we're not separate. We're all one. Imagination helps us, and this is the area, this third eye: imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration. Then tap the top of the head and open up the arms. And here you're basically in mountain. Drop the shoulders, wiggle the head out of the shoulder girdle, so you're dropping the shoulders, and then decide how your arms feel here. You can always bend the elbows. You can always bring the hands down, depending on what you're doing, what's happening for your body today. And that's your intuitive self saying, what's right for me in this moment? Breathing, gratitude through the heart, compassion for our journeys, each one of them, blessings for the decades that we've been on the path here in the human body, the physical form, a spiritual being having a physical experience. And then bring the arms down. Shake them out. Shake out the body. This is a little standing routine that, brings you back to center. All the things we do in a class can be broken down into small little packages that you could call yoga moments. And those yoga moments are like a meditation moment, but sometimes meditation for many of us is easier to come into the body. So half sun salutation. And for some of you, there's a few new people here, and I don't know your yoga background, but half sun salutation is one of the ones we've been doing a lot. I'm going to show it to you facing the screen, and then I'll turn to the side. We're going to do it 4 times in honor of the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 chambers of the heart, the 4 archangels. How many numbers 4 can you figure out? So here we go. This is the first one. You take a breath in, you inhale, the arms come down and up above your head, and a little tiny back bend. Then swan dive down, bend the knees and hands come down. Straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down. Inhale up and back and to the heart. It's a great little practice that gets your body going. You can do this seated in a chair, or if you need to hold on to something, you just find your way. You use your intuition and body wisdom to find your way. Here we go. Second time. Inhale down and up and back. Swan dive down, bend the knees. Exhale, inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale, open the arms up and back into your heart. Inhale down, your arms come down and back. And then exhale, swan dive down. Exhale all the way, ragdoll, bend the knees. Inhale, straight legs, flat back, look up. Hands come wherever they land. Exhale down your back and ragdoll. Then inhale, arms open wide and back and to your heart. Then you can think of the swans, especially here in the Northwest. We get the swans in the winter, and they come in just for November and December and a little bit of January. So they'll be coming in. Inhale down and up and back. Swan dive down, bend the knees into ragdoll. Straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down, ragdoll, bend the knees. Inhale, arms come up, open your heart and back and to your heart. And then back to center. So how do you do this 6 movements of the spine when you're standing? So, we did that. We did the back bend. It's just a gentle back bend. We're going to do another one in a minute. But then the spinal twist. So you bring the arms up, and we've been doing the spinal twist in Utkatasana, but in the awkward pose or chair pose, but we're going to do it 2 ways today. Arms are up, and you look at the hands, because I want you to get this understanding of the change of vision and how we can, keep changing our brain by seeing in different ways. So here you look at the hands, and you can see everything else in the room or wherever you are. And you find your breath. And we're going to stand. I'm sorry, we're not going to bend our knees right now. So stand up straight, and then look at the hands and watch them while you're seeing in your peripheral vision everything else. When you get pretty far around, take the left hand and put it on your right hip, and take the right hand, bend the elbow, and it goes behind you. And stand as tall as you can. Now pull in at that pelvic floor. Use that understanding of it's really like a Kegel that you hold in, and look around, and you're strengthening that pelvic floor. Then take a couple breaths. Your head goes as far around, and your eyes keep going around as far as they can. And just see what you're seeing in the whole of it all. And then drop the hands down, bring the hands up. Now look at the room and see the hands in your vision, but look around, all the way around. We're going to go around to the other side. While you're breathing, keep going around, seeing the room, and drop down. Right hand's now on your left hip. Now watch your knees. You don't want to twist the torso. You want to hold on there. Now, if you need to go to a wall, some of you know the spinal twist on the wall, and it's very nice. And in a chair, the spinal twist is fabulous. So no matter where you are or what you're doing, spinal twists are fabulous. Breathe gratitude through the heart, and appreciation and compassion for our journeys, each individually, as women, as immigrants, pilgrims, and refugees from our lineage. And just know that that's the truth of it all, is that we all come from all the nations in the world. And America was created by dreamers. So we need to continue to know what that dream is as we look all the way around and see how far around we can see. Keep the torso grounded into the feet, knees are straight ahead. And then drop the arms down, lift them up, and now look at the hands again. And then look at the whole room through your peripheral vision as we come back to center. Bend the knees and bring the hands to the heart. Breathing. Now this is the awkward pose. We're going to ride the wave and remember that you are the ocean. This is the place that we don't get. We are so big. You know, our energy field, the more we get in touch with how we can send our energy out there, the more we know that we are, you know, working with something much larger than this little body. So you are the ocean and everything else is the wave. Now notice here, we're going to do a little strengthening of the quad, the knees, and you want them in some kind of alignment or you want them together. You can see which way works for you. That's part of your intuition, but it's also part of yourself as an experiment. You are a science experiment and you are experimenting what this is like. I like to have them just a little, like a fist apart. So you'll see. Then those of you who want to, you can have your hands at your heart, hands on the waist, you know, hands above your head, you know, wherever. Hands can be clasped together. Each one of these is a decision you make through that intuition we've been studying. It's kind of a kinesthetic intuition. You know, how does my body want to go? Now, have you forgotten the pelvic floor? Just notice what happens when you squeeze there at the pelvic floor. Just notice, recognizing, training our brains to remember that we have this diaphragm down in that area. Now, some of you may want to come up onto your balls of your feet. If you're on the balls of the feet, then your quads have to work a lot more. It's also going to, you know, tax the knee a lot more. And again, you may want to put your arms in a different position. If you keep breathing and focusing and just being there, it's a meditation moment in a posture, in a shape. Then flatten out the feet, bring the hands to the heart, shake out the legs for a moment. And then back, because we're going to do the spinal twist here. So the spinal twist, right elbow to the left side. Gentle is just right elbow and you look to the left. That's all it is. You're a little bit bent and your head, you look to the left. Now, I just want to remind you, in every decade of our life, yoga usually changes for us. So, you know, if you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, just know that it's going to change. It's just the way it is. It's just part of this journey in a human body. Now you can bring the elbow down if that works for you, and you can put it on your knee. You can have a chair here and do this spinal twist on a chair. You can also do it with your back on a wall. Your hand can be down on the floor or arm above. And this is just a more vigorous spinal twist. So you're deciding. You can even, you know, grab a block and put a hand on a block if that's what you would rather do. And then back up. Take a breath. And in between sides, we're going to do the ha breath. This is a simpler breath, simpler than the breath of joy. It's just an inhale and then ha, bend the knees. The ha breath opens the fifth chakra. Ha, your voice. Ha, ha, ha. Let it out. Just let it really come out of that part of yourself. Ha, ha. Last time. Ha, and then back up, or hands at the heart. You don't have to bring your arms up as much as I'm doing. Okay. Then bend the knees, bring your hands to the heart. Now it's the left elbow to the right side. And the gentlest is just to look there. Look to the right. The moderate is elbow on the knee. What happens with the arms is they actually form a triangle from the head to the two elbows. And you really can make a very supportive structure with the arms to hold you here. Putting that hand down on the floor and lifting the other arm up. You look as far as you can towards the ceiling, or you take that back that right hand and you put it behind your back. You can always do that. Or up. And again, you can pull in a block. And then back and back. And this time we're just going to stand and shake it out. Then a breath. Got to recharge. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now just notice if doing one of those, can you feel as you close your eyes, what can you feel happening in the body? Can you feel the heartbeat? Can you feel any tingling? So closing your eyes, grounding into the feet. Now shake out the legs. Now for those of you who this gets to be too much, then you find your way to a chair or to a wall. And we'll go to the wall in a minute to do something. But before that, we will just do the Dancing Warrior series. And we're going to do the whole series, including some of the things on the floor. You might want a block available. So inhale the arm. No, step the right foot back. Right foot comes back, left forward. The knee goes over the ankle of the left side. So you're trying to find your alignment here too. If you need a wall, let's see which wall is best for me to show you on. Walls, right foot back. Some people do this series with the toe right on the wall, and you can also put your knee on the wall. Of course, I can't do that with my little thing here. But it's good for you to know how to do things on the wall, because your knee can go on that wall too. You come a little closer and you've got kind of a support there. You can also do this on the chair, sitting on an edge of the chair and turning to the side of a chair. Then straighten the front leg and arms come behind you. You can do this whole thing on the wall or a chair, sitting on a chair, and look up. And please let me know if you are in a chair or you want me to show you everything on a chair. I was doing that for a while, but there were hardly anybody that was asking for that. So here, good stretch of the back of the leg. Again, this is a great stretch. And you can have your toe right up against the wall. You can have your hands on a table too. Great stretch with the table. Then bend that left knee. And here we're back into this virtuous hero, it's called Virabhadrasana in Sanskrit. And that Virabhadrasana is the warrior or the virtuous hero. And if you go to that song, maybe I'll play it on Friday. You don't have to be a superhero, but superheroes are really up right now in all ages. And then left hand down, right arm back. If you can, they're in alignment. But if your shoulders don't have that, then hand on the waist. You do it's all intuitive and it's all you choosing. And these are your own postures. They're not necessarily, they work off of what we've learned over the years. And these postures are like my determination, my strength, courage, my vision. Like this one, go up. Right hand comes on the back. This is called reversed Virabhadrasana or reversed warrior. Oh, and you look up and you go, I'm the sky. I'm that big. Everything else that happens in my life is the weather. But I am pure and huge and endless, like I'm connected to the rest of the galaxy. And then the right hand comes down. This is lateral angle. And it's also to say, okay, I'm going to look in another direction and get some answers. And you can come down on your hand, your elbow, on the floor. You can use a block. You can always have that block there. Lateral angle, in some ways you're supposed to take that arm and leg, the back leg and the front arm, or that up above the head, and try to put them parallel. It's not that easy. I always want to go straight, and then I go, okay, I'm going to change the angle just a little. Then up on that side. Deep breath in and out. Then to warrior goddess. Okay, so in this series, what I love about this series is it really looks at the male and female parts of ourselves. And as the whole world culture is changing to gender neutral, gender fluid, gender, whole new understanding of that there aren't these dualities, there's a continuum. Everything that we're doing right now is that we are coming up with what is the continuum for absolutely everything. Fingertips are wide, knees are bent, a very powerful situation for, us to say, yeah, here we are. Yeah. So in here, we're going to do lion's breath. Most of you have done this with me before. You're going to stick out your tongue and growl. And it looks like this. I'll come a little closer so you can see it closer. You take a breath in, deep breath, and then you last time. And then 5-pointed star. And if your arms are tired by now, just shake them out. And then shake them out. Then a little break. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Then to the other side. Here, I'll just stay in the same direction. But first I had my right foot back. Now I'm going to put the left foot back. So left foot goes back and you kind of feel it. So you can see forward and back. How far back do you want to go? You want to be very, very, very challenged? Go back and put your toe up, so you're balanced on your toe instead of on the full foot. You can turn the foot as much to the side as you need for your knee and your pelvis to feel right. So this is intuitive, and this is practice of what feels right. Then the arms, you can have your arms at your heart, of course, on the waist, above the head, however you want to place them. You can have your whole body connected to a wall. Bend the right knee. And just a statement of, I am here and I exist in this physical form so that I can have a physical experience. So blessings for being able to smell and taste and see the beauty of the world in all of its colors. Especially in the autumn, I go out every afternoon to just see the colors because I want to drink them in. I want to drink them in and have them just fill me with those colors. Straighten the right leg, and arms come behind you and look up. Now, you can have your hands on a wall or a table, but you can also have your hands on your leg or on the floor. Breathing, relaxing, feeling, being. Bend the knee and arms back up or at your waist or heart, and then warrior or Virabhadrasana 2. And think about what it means to be a virtuous hero. What's the word virtue mean? And what's the word hero mean to you? And that's what, we can be a superhero on the ground, doing what we need to do here on the planet. In little ways and bigger ways, whatever suits our own body, mind, spirit. And then look up, and some people are just meditators, and that is powerful. Some people are creative, some people are introverts or extroverts. Some people dance their song to the world. Then either the right hand on the right leg and up, or down to the elbow, or down all the way to the floor. You decide which one's best for your body. Where are you feeling the stretches? Remember, these postures, you can feel them tomorrow if you've gone too far. But learning what is too far is going to be you in your own science experiment inside your own body. Then up and warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2, Virabhadrasana 1. And then because I'm going to turn my back to you, this is Warrior Goddess, but I'm going to turn around. Warrior Goddess. Ah. Deep breath in. Ah. And then 5-pointed star. Ah. Breath. Ah. Imagine us all connected in a circle, and I can't wait till I feel like I can go into a space with no mask and teach again, and we all can be in a circle. So just imagine it for right now, because that's what I really want. But I don't want us all to have to wear masks, because all this breathing we do in yoga is difficult to continue for an hour through a mask. Ah. So then drop the arms down, shake them out. From here, we're gonna come down to the floor. We're not gonna come down to the floor. We're gonna fold down to the floor. A lot of this we don't do because we don't have the time. I have to just get rid of a little bit of my mat here. So widen the legs and down. You want to be able to stick there on the floor a little bit. So we're coming down into what's called wide angled forward bend. Wide angle forward bend, and just wiggle the pelvis a little bit and just see how that feels to you. And find the breath. And you can drop your head down and look underneath. And this is kind of what we need to do in understanding duality, to look upside down. And then also look at the sky, so we need to spend some time in ways, put our bodies in ways that will give us a new perspective and look at it from the opposite, to find some middle ground for all that we're looking at and understand the continuum of almost everything in the world. You can look at all the colors changing outside of the trees here in the Northwest and across much of the continent, the United States anyway, and also Canada. And you can think about all the different colors and the gradations of the same color, all the way from yellow to purple, through the reds and the oranges, and whatever else you see out there, and know that this is really a way to look at the continuum. Then from here, you can place one hand down and one hand up, and you're in a spinal twist again. Oh, how powerful these spinal twists are. Feel what's going on the right side if you bring that, on the left side if you bring that right arm up. Then feel what happens when you bring the left side up, what happens on the right inner thigh, and then down. Again, you can have your hands on a chair or a table or a wall. You don't have to have them down this low. You can use the top of a block, the bottom, or maybe your hands are on the floor. From here, we're just going to turn our heels in to bend to one side, turn our heel in and bend to the other side. So you're bending the right knee, then the left knee, then the right knee, and then hold on one side and hold on the other side. And come back to center. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Ah. One balancing posture before we go come to the floor. And this is going to be tree, because we're honoring the trees. And tree is so versatile for all bodies, but you can always go to a wall. I'm going to show you how to do it off the wall. Toe on the floor, right leg, bend the knee, toe on the floor, hands at the heart. This is the most gentle. It's a beautiful posture. You can put your hands up. Beautiful posture. You can also bring it above the knee, above the ankle, below the knee. And if you've really got it within you, you can bring it up to the heel, up at the groin, but above the knee. Some days I just want to go to the gentle form, have a yoga moment, take a breath, have gratitude for the trees and all the things that trees teach us, like go with the flow, bend with the wind. And then onto the other side, shake out, toe on the floor, hands at the heart. Or up. And again, your arms. What kind of tree are you? Are you going blowing with the wind? Blowing with the wind. Are you having your leaves drop? You know, how can you play with the idea of tree? And then do what you need to do to be there. And again, walls, tables, chairs, all the supports we can get. And then let it go. That was a good standing series. So I'm feeling it. Time to come down to the floor. When you come down to the floor, I'm going to definitely offer today a rolled up blanket or a long cushion for the reclined goddess. On Monday we did, and you can do this, a cushion or a block, and you can put your legs up the wall or that, but we're not going to be there quite yet. I just want you to have those things ready. So drop the chin to the chest and roll down the spine. Let the shoulders be heavy as you see how you have to bend your knees at a certain place. Keep breathing as you come down. Let the arms be heavy and the wrists and hands be loose. Once they're down on the floor, step back into downward dog, heel walk the legs. Just see how the legs are doing. You know, you're just checking in. Let your body feel the slightly upside down feeling of gravity pulling the water in your body in a different direction. That's why they say the blood goes to my head. No, not really. It's the gravity pulling the water in your body. You are 85% water. Then knees come down, and that's a little controversial. Knees come down, and let's see. What do I want to do first? I want to come onto our backs. So we're just going to come down and around. If you want to do child, you should stop and do child. I know a few of you, that's one of your favorite, and that's one of the ones you need the most. So do child. Otherwise, come down and pull the knees in. It was just really a long standing series today. So we don't have a lot of time. And roll the knees in a circle. And just feel the change from that standing series to being down on the floor and just massaging the lower back. And I encourage you to find some time today to just be in stretches on the floor or just take some rest in Shavasana. Roll the ankles. Then shake everything out, ground it into the earth on your spine, and roll ankles and wrists. Notice what happens to, when I say ground into your spine, notice what happens to the abdominal muscles, and squeeze at the pelvic floor. It'll hold you there. Then feet flat on the floor, cross the right leg over and pull that right ankle in and hold on to that knee. And just pull it in. Now you can go into thread the needle if you want, threading, your hands through the legs. But since we only have a little bit of time, what I wanted to do is pull that in, lengthen out the left leg if you want to join me with this, and decide, do I just pull one leg in at a time and stretch that right hip? Do I lift the head? Do I lift the left leg? And do I raise and lower that left leg? So you have a lot of choices here. And if you have a few postures you want to do before we close, and they're the ones that you need, then you should do them. This is kind of like, it's a hip stretch, like thread the needle and pigeon, but it's also a strengthener. Then lower that leg down, lengthen out that right leg, bring the other one in. Again, you can just catch that knee. You can cross the ankle over the right leg, right knee, or you can pull in with the left hand on the knee and the right hand on the foot. And then you can also go into thread the needle if that's what you want. This is all intuitive. You are your own, you're in charge. And you can also join me in the strengthener. Now, if you like this strengthener, but it's a little too hard on the neck, you just take that hand, the free hand, and you just put it behind your head. And then hold. And hold. And then release. And it's not a lot. And then shake out the legs, place the feet on the floor, and balance your cerebral spinal fluid. So pressing off from the feet, if you can feel it, you're just feeling like where the sacrum is, the back of the head. If you can imagine in the middle of where your ears are, if you put your fingers kind of pointing into your outer ear, that's where the first cervical vertebra is. And so we're rocking the spine, we're loosening, and we're also massaging at the same time, and we're working with the cerebral spinal fluid. This cerebral spinal fluid is ultimate in the functioning of our body, kind of like the vagus nerve, and it actually does stimulate the vagus nerve in this little rocking that we're doing. And you're just pushing off from the feet. You're not working the torso. You're not working any of the muscles. Everything is just free, and it's just rocking. It's a practice. If this is hard for you, some people press too hard and they're using their torso or any part of their musculature that doesn't need to be used. You're just using the feet and making it move. And then pause with that and decide whether you just want to come into Shavasana, or you want to come into putting the legs up, or you want to come into reclined goddess, either with or without a cushion or a rolled up blanket. Now, if you have blocks, you can put them underneath the knees, or you can take your hands and support yourself there with your fists right at the joint of the pelvis and the trochanter. And you just want to find your way into a peaceful, open place. And legs up the wall, or your pelvis on a block where your legs come up, or whatever posture you may want for a last thing. And again, Shavasana is the ultimate of being able to stay in Shavasana for a while if you choose, or go back to Shavasana sometime during the day. It might be that you take 10 minutes at a time, like 4 o'clock or something, and say, I'm going to lie down and just be in Shavasana for 10 minutes. These are yoga moments. They're moments of meditation, moments of letting your mind be free and seeing what happens. Now, meditators will tell you we have very busy minds. And so getting used to that busy mind is something that is okay. It's not like we have to stop our thoughts. Find the breath, relax the face, the eyes, the forehead, the hands, the shoulders. Feel the tug of gravity. Fill yourself with the light of gratitude. Fill yourself with the color of all of the autumn leaves, the peach color that comes up from the center of the earth. In this place of relaxation, filled with gratitude and the color of peaches, all the colors of the autumn. Connect yourself with all of us, this women's circle, and with all the other women's circles that you may be part of. All your daughters, granddaughters, sisters, mothers, and then all the other people that are connected in, whether they're family or friends. Focusing on women to help women be empowered to help men soften the edges that they need to soften, to recognize that they don't have to hold up the facade of not being vulnerable. It's what we all learned. But surrendering to our vulnerability and all of the continuum of emotions, all of the continuum of boundaries, from boundaryless to brick walls, from shame to grandiosity, and finding the middle place of the continuum, appropriate, empowerment, humble, yet strong, courageous, vibrant, radiant, kind, magical, mystical, stupendous, magnificent. At the same time, honoring that place within us that remains humble. Bringing our hands to our heart in namaste, honoring ourselves and honoring that you've taken the time out to do this practice. And then sending out the blessing, may we all have peace. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace, gentleness, kindness. And then deciding for yourself, how do you release this posture? Taking moments that you need. Staying in Shavasana as long as you want. So if you come from reclined goddess or legs up the wall, decide if you want to come down and just feel the release each time you change positions. Honor that these transitions that we learn on the mat, as we learn graceful transitions and listening to our intuition and during transitions, then during the physical transitions we have to make in these bodies as we age, but also in the earth walk itself, and different times we have to make transitions. Learn to do it with wisdom and grace. Learn to do it with intention. And I'm rolling over to my side into fetal posture to feel the connection to the earth and the water in my body again. Developing your intuitive self in all of the ways that we've been studying, through all of the different elements and the chakras. As we press into the hands and I come up into mermaid position, because it's just simply a nice way to come up. Letting my body settle, preparing for the next transition. And then deciding what do you do to get up? What's the best thing for you? And finding your way.